you're pre-approved. You've got a broker. You're decided, you're committed. Let's get into it. Now you got to set your buying criteria. This is actually my favorite part. I have the worksheet, download it, print off like 20 of them, and work by yourself or with your partner, whoever you're buying with, on setting your buying criteria so that, number one, you guys are on the same page, literally. You're on the same page with your broker, literally. This is what we're going for. And when you see another property out there that you really like emotionally, you can come back to your plan. Like, these are your, rational stakes in the ground. Like, this is what we're doing. So you don't get distracted with other options that are out there. Like, this is what we're doing. Price range. Okay. In one of my case studies, I describe where one of my clients was approved up to $750,000 for a purchase price. But that would have literally more than doubled her housing cost liability. So we actually started shopping around $350,000. So she was approved up to $750,000, but we were shopping at $350,000 because of the other financial implications. And I just want to point out how much restraint that actually requires, because a $750,000 house is a very nice home. You can have friends over, it's in a better area, it's better layout, it's newer, all of these things. And she ended up buying, a house built in 1968 in Linwood for $320,000, something like that. So putting that there and knowing why is going to help you stay strong when those really nice homes come up that might be, where you're not delaying your gratification. You want it now. Well, we're setting up, we have a long-term plan. Price range, very important. Next, acquisition model. So you're going to identify what your acquisition models are going to be. You're going to do the stepping stone, the BRRRR ownership, or the house hack. If you don't remember what those are, go back and watch the video. But this is where you put, this is what we're trying to do. Okay? Now we're going to get into property type. Obviously, if whatever type of acquisition model you're doing will kind of dictate the property type a little bit. But it's possible that you could do trade-offs. Like, you could do a townhouse in Greenwood, or you could do a single family out a little further, maybe, Linwood or Renton, or just depending on what you're doing. Okay, so what property types are you open to, and what property types are you not open to for whatever reasons? Put them here. Okay, location. So locations, what cities, what areas are we looking in? Okay, so this is where you get on page with your spouse or whoever on which areas we want to live in and why. Okay, so it's possible, again, that you could do, you might do a townhouse in Seattle proper, but if you're outside of Seattle proper, you want a single family house, whatever. Okay, so it is possible that you'll have more than one set of buying criteria. Okay, then we get into the standard must-haves, must-not-haves, and nice-to-haves. So you will be living there, but, what absolutely must the property have? If it doesn't have this, whatever it is, then we're not going to buy it. Okay, so it could be a garage, it could be a specific type of return, it could be whatever it needs to have. Okay, and then must not haves. So that's, if it's a must not have, that has to really be something like, that's a deal killer. Like, it has this thing, we're not making an offer. It's a deal killer. Okay, so that's usually things on the property that are not changeable, right? So specifically, like where the house is situated on the lot, you can't really change that. So that would be an example of must not have. Being on a busy street, that's a pretty common one. Like, we don't want to live on a highway, okay? Stuff like that. All right, so you start thinking of them, but just list them. Deal killers. Okay, and then nice to have. So things that would be nice to have, but not necessary. Value add, okay, these are my two favorite ones, okay? The two are value add plan and the exit plan. So value add, how will you add value to this property? And this is the one that I talked in some other video about, was where you take an inventory of your skill sets and or your kind of your social resources in your sphere. Like for me, my brother is a roofer. Okay, so when I look for properties, I'm looking for properties that have a bad roof, that need a new roof, because I'm going to get a little bit better of a deal, and then I know that I can call my brother and he's going to come and do a roof for me for a very, very fair cost, and I know I can trust that he's not, he's only going to recommend things that I really need. So maybe the same is for you. It's like you have, your cousin's a plumber, or maybe you're just going to buy in a growing area, or maybe you're going to do work yourself. Maybe you're going to hire out, whatever it is. How are you going to add value to the property immediately or over the long term? Okay. And then the exit plan. How are you going to get out of the deal? What's the timeline? Okay. So this is going back to the plan, the acquisition plan, the exit plan have to fit together. So if you can buy a single family house and save up another down payment in 2 years, then your exit plan is in 2 years, you're going to move out, maybe you're doing BRRRR ownership, and then you're going to move into another one. Whatever it is, what's the exit plan, and how will you know when it's time to execute the exit? Okay, so starting there. What's it going to be? Okay, so again, it's just making a solid plan, having it all laid out so that when we buy it, we know exactly what we're doing with this thing, short term, long term. So that's that. Spend some time on this. You will definitely make a lot of marks, throw one away, make it again. That's why I said print out like 20 of them and get it all on paper. And notice that I'm having you do this before we're even looking at deals. Okay, we're not even looking at real estate yet. We're just putting a plan together of what we're trying to do, setting up our intention. In the next step, we're going to start looking at deals, looking at properties, and making offers.